Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. The cookie's back. So today's reading is a request. I've actually gotten this twice, so I thought, well, maybe that's a sign I should do it also because I really do want to do my request thoroughly. And I've noticed this topic, of course not all readers on YouTube do this, but usually people just give you like 3 or 4 options, and that's so unrealistic. No one out there is going to be matching one of 4 options if you have an audience of like 1 million viewers, which I don't, but I just really wanted to do this so I could give you guys more options to choose from. And I'm going to do it a little bit differently because I'm not going to be focusing as much on, if it comes out and it's really dominant in the reading, I will touch upon it, but I'm not going to be going into like eye color or hair color or something like that, or zodiacs. People do this and say, well, I see an earth sign, I also see a water sign, I also see a fire sign. Well, which sign don't you see? So let's just assume that it can be any old zodiac sign, right? But I'm going to give you an option, like options on where you might meet this person, where you're most likely to meet this person, and what occupation they might have. So they might be there might be a few messages in each pile, but take what resonates. And as an additional bonus, because I know a lot of you watch this reading just to get confirmed that it's the person that you have in mind, and it might be, it might not be, but I have chosen to do each reading, and at the end of this reading I have already picked out 2 cards of a yes and a no. So if you want to, if you have the balls to to get a yes or a no, you can get the I will put down the cards on the table, and I will let you meditate for a while to pick a card and get a yes or a no on whether or not it is this person, or a yes or a no on a question that will be elaborating on something I did not touch upon. So say I tell you that you're going to meet this person in school, and you're going to want to know, well, is it the university, or is it, is it high school? Then you get to choose one of these 2 cards to get your yes or a no. Okay, so that will be your option to get clarity on something that you might not have gotten clarity on in the reading. Okay, so I'm really trying to make this as clear as possible, and of course don't shoot me if you get a no. If you want it to be a specific person, that's not my fault. I am merely the messenger. Anyway, I have, as I said, 8 options. We have a lapis lazuli, a turquoise, amethyst, rose quartz, apatite, ruby, calcite, and chrysocolla. Okay, so as usual, I will just be shuffling during the reading and picking out cards during the reading. So just bear in mind that each reading can be different, of different lengths and such. So yeah, that was it. So if you haven't chosen yet, please pause the video and meditate on the stones, because I don't think this is one of those where you just rush. I think you really have to think this through, and yeah, I'll just see you at your timestamp. Welcome, lapis lazuli. Wow, today's the day we find out through fortune cookie wisdom what is going to be the occupation of your future spouse, most likely. Keep that in mind. And perhaps also how you will meet this person. Now let's get some info on the table, shall we? Let's see. Okay, so we have books, and we have visiting. We have 2 males. Well, we have a lot of cards coming up about communication in a building, okay? So you're not going to be meeting this person outside. You're going to be meeting this person in some kind of building having to do with books and communication. And it might be something that, something with, how do you explain this? I see stressful situations. I see, you know, it could be work, you know, if your work stresses you out. I see a lot of males in this pile, so it might be some place where there's dominant like predominantly males coming to this place. Also, this person will have been someone who has been in an accident. So they might have had like a car accident, or they might have had like severe surgery. There's going to be some kind of scarring on their, probably on their face. Um, I'm seeing someone quite tall and also a thinker. So it might be someone who is very philosophical of nature, and someone who is probably also coming from a good home. You know, they have a well-established home life, like they have a, you know, they have a healthy relationship to their parents and such. Either way, home life is very dominant in their life. They are very, you know, they have a lot of friends. They also have a pet. They probably have a dog or a cat. I'm seeing a dog, so there's a dog in this picture, so keep that in mind. And yeah, someone who likes to read a lot, someone who, I'm just seeing a lot of books, you know, there's something about books and communication. So there might be someone, if it's a job, it might be someone who works in a place where you deal with a lot of paper, like bureaucracy and such. Yeah. So that is mainly what I'm getting from this. Let's see if there's something else that wants to come forth. Just seeing if I missed something. No, I think this is it. It's pretty short and sweet. Now, you get to choose a yes or a no if you want to know if it's the person you have in mind, or if there's something you need elaborated on, if like, you know, want to know if this is the current job you're in, or if it's, you know, a job in the future, if you know this person already. Either way, ask your question and pick one of these cards. If you pick this one, your answer is yes, and if you pick this one, the answer is, of course, no. Okay? So thank you for watching. If you chose the turquoise stone, let's see what information we could get about your future spouse or your future partner, life partner. Doesn't have to be someone you marry, you know. Doesn't have to be someone that you're going to be tied to for the rest of your life, but someone who you will most likely spend your life with until you choose not to. Okay, and keep in mind, I don't go into a lot of, you know, detail about looks. This will be mainly an idea for you on where you might meet this person, what their occupation is, and you can like put the pieces of the puzzle together for yourself. So, oh dark, oh dear, this is gloomy. So this person has suffered a lot of loss. We have a card of loss and death. So it might be someone who either have lost both of their parents or have been in prison. We have the card of prison, and we have a card of widow. So if this is a female, she might be older than you. It might be someone who's older than you either way, actually, because with the death card, I also read that into that. Someone who has had major life transformations, which is pretty vague to say, but you know, you're going to know if this is your person. Seeing Dark Night of the Soul too. And they might have a gambling problem. Tower. Yeah, there has been some kind of legal issues with this person, or this person is someone who works in the legal field. Could be like with taxes also. So I'm not seeing someone who is in a creative field here. With also the cross, there's a lot of, you know, this is about life lessons, about, you know, about karma. So again, we have that coming up with the death card. So, you know, this person isn't having either right now or has not in the past had a like an easy life. So you're going to know that this person is going to be telling you about this. So that way you have like a clue when you have that conversation with them that they've, you know, been through a lot. They've lost their parents, or they lost some friends, or, you know, they've just been burdened a lot in their life. Yeah, but, you know, doesn't mean that it's going to be about a relationship. This is merely about your future spouse. So you just keep that in mind, okay? Yeah, I'm seeing also someone who dresses very what is the word, stylishly. So they might, tend to wear a lot of black and suits and such. So they're not the type who would wear khaki pants or, be like a hipster or something like that. This is more a person who would wear stylish and expensive suits. So that might be also a clue for you. It cares a lot about their hair and that. Yeah. So what else do I see here? Where you might meet this person is most likely at like a casino or somewhere having to do with money, and not in the sense where you get money. It's like where you risk money. So it could also be somewhere where you pay. You pay to be a member of something. Um, it's in a, again, it's like it could be a tall building. It could also be a church actually. But that's how it resonates with you. This person is going to cause you a lot of grief in the beginning, just so you know. And it's not gonna, it's just your future spouse, so it's not gonna be like that forever, but you're gonna be burdened by this for a while. So it might be something about you having to wait for them for a long time. Okay, let's see. Yes or no. Ask your question. If you want to know if this is the person you have in mind, this is your chance to pick one of these two cards. And if you also just want to know if this is, if you want to have something elaborated, so if you have a question you didn't have answered, or you didn't get answered, you just pick one of these two cards to get your yes or no, okay? So are you ready? If you pick this one, your answer is no. And if you pick this one, your answer is yes. So thank you so much for watching. If you chose the amethyst, let's see, for amethyst people, let's get some details about your future spouse. Now, again, keep in mind, I don't tell you too much about zodiacs. I don't tell you about eye or hair color. This is a brief overview of of how you will meet them, most likely, and what their occupation will be. So you can put the pieces of the puzzle together, okay? Let's see. Misunderstanding foreigner. Okay. Well, this is going to be a back and forth situation. This is most likely a foreigner, someone who either has a different skin color or someone who has, roots from another country. They don't have to be foreign as such. You don't have to necessarily be, not able to communicate with them in your own native tongue. It's simply someone who has roots from another, like another ethnicity. Yeah, but there's going to be some inconstance with this person. Okay, so, well, you are 100%, I'm pretty sure you have met them already without, you having to confirm with the cards in the end. We have the key. So this is destiny, but it's going to be something, again, with like the mountain, we get a lot of inconstancy, we get blockages and such. It might be someone you meet on a night out. Someone you might meet somewhere where there is like waitresses or waiters, so it might be a bar or a club, people waiting on you, or a party. Yeah, we also have like nice clothing here, or it might be, which is a completely different thing, but with the mountain and with the moon here, it could be actually somewhere like skiing or somewhere out in nature where you do sports like that, or just simply somewhere where you're like outside climbing or something like that. It can make sense to you, cannot make sense to you. Again, this is not for everyone who watches this. This is simply for those who happen to stumble upon it and be like, oh yeah, that matches it. So I just wanted to say, because I saw the mountain and I couldn't not say that it could be somewhere like that. So, but most likely I'm seeing actually a party. This is probably a restaurant, probably a bar, probably a club, probably something like that. Party, someone waiting on you guys, and nice clothing. You're going to be dressed up. Yeah, but you're going to have some ups and downs with this person before they actually commit to you, so that might be some extra information for you. Okay, you have a question if you want to ask it. to get some further clarity, this is your chance, yes or no. Ask your question, pick one of these 2 cards, and if you chose this one, the answer to your question is yes, and if you chose this one, of course, it's no. Okay, if you chose the amethyst, let's see if you can get some information on your future spouse or life partner. Keep in mind, I don't tell you too much about looks or about, hair or eye colors or zodiacs. I'm simply more into telling you how you will most likely meet them and what their occupation will be like. And you can then use this to put the puzzles together for yourself. Okay? See? No. You're going to be pining over this person for a long time before they get to be your spouse. They're going to be in a relationship when you meet them. That's for sure. But there will be love. So at some point, this person is going to choose you. And, so you get to be their spouse, which is what this reading is about. They might be either a doctor or someone who cares for other people. So we have like the doctor card and the illness card here. And we have like a bed and such. So it's probably someone who you either is in the medical field or in the field where they care for other people, if that makes sense to you. And also, this is a person who has a lot of, a lot of options. They get a lot of attention from the opposite sex. Now let's see what else we got here. Okay, so I actually get a story here. Well, you're going to be not expecting it when they come forward. There's going to be they're going to be anchored in the relationship for a long time, but then all of a sudden you get the message that they're free and they're going to pursue you. So that's the message also. But additionally, I'm thinking that if it's not a doctor, then it might be someone who is simply someone who has a job that is pretty they have a steady job, right? So they have a good education, and they're probably going to be working this job for the rest of their life. So it's most likely not a job that you would consider a like a part-time right now endeavor. It will be something more solid, something that actually brings in a lot of money, and it might have also to do with documents of some sort, and energy. Like how can I translate that into a job? Because if we have someone who works with energy, then that would make sense that they're in the medical field, right? So they, help monitor people's energy levels in that way. So that could be like an abstract interpretation. Either way, it's most likely someone from the medical field. Now, let's see if we can get you more clarity. If you have a question about this, if you want to know if this is the person you have in mind, or if you want to know something else, like if you have a specific question for about this person, then you get to ask your question. If it's a yes or no, so have you chosen? If you chose this one, your answer is yes. And if you chose this one, your answer is no. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you chose the rose quartz, let's see if we can get some information about the person that is most likely to be your future spouse. And keep in mind that I don't do zodiacs. I don't go too much into looks unless it's really, it's really springing to mind. No, not to mind. If it's really obvious that there's some kind of mention about looks. Let's just see what else comes up. I'm going to be looking into what their profession might be and where you are most likely to meet them. Okay? This person might have a criminal past. So they might not reveal that to you right away, because we usually, I suppose, we usually wouldn't tell someone we met that we have a criminal record, but they're going to have some kind of, they have been they have some kind of past of not being completely honest about money. But they do have a lot of money. That's what I'm seeing here. It might be someone who works in a way where they deliver something to someone. So it might, I'm not saying it's a pizza boy. I hope it's not a pizza boy. No disrespect to pizza boys, but we would prefer someone who has a career that might be a little bit more promising, let's say promising, right? So unless you're a teenager, which would be totally fine with the pizza boy at the moment. Okay, so additional messages about this person is that this person, you might meet them. This could be where you're out walking your dog, or it could be somewhere outside. It's probably going to be like outside on a cloudy day, or around autumn, something like that, where it's a little bit more chilly. And it might actually be gym. You might meet this person at a gym too. Or you might meet this person when they are working and you're not. So they're going to be uniformed and you're not uniformed, okay? So if it's a gym, it might be someone where you're actually going to that gym and they work at this gym. Or you might be someone who goes to the bank if they work with a lot of money. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's the interpretation of a lot of money here. And, you know, they're going to be helping you. Either way, I think you're going to meet this person while they are working and not while you're working. Okay? If that makes sense to you. So if you have a question that you did not get answered here and you want a yes or a no, this is your time to pick a card. So ask your question and choose one of these two cards. If you want to know if it's the person that you're thinking about, or if you want to know anything specific and have it confirmed with a yes or no, this is your chance. If you picked this one, your answer is a no. And if you pick this one, your answer is a yes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it gave you a little bit of clarity. If you chose the appetite, let's see. How are you most likely to meet your person? Well, it's going to be somewhere where you come a lot. Where you come to this place a lot. You have some kind of a root in this place. So it could be a school, it could be a job, it could actually be both. Some place where you go a lot. Okay. And they're going to be eyeing you a lot before you actually notice them. So before you actually get to the point where you're interested, you might not consider them. I mean, you might not consider them in the beginning. That's what I'm saying. But they're going to be, you know, crushing on you from afar a long time before you actually get to the part where you get to know each other. It's a person who probably either wears suits or uniforms in some way. They probably like hats too, and they might have a dog, okay? Someone who's older than you, probably a little bit older than you, very sociable person who likes to go out a lot, drink, you know, like not an alcoholic, but they like to like have a drink after work or something like that. Could be also that. But it could also mean that they're just very sociable. So they go out a lot with people. They go to a lot of concerts. Well, probably not right now because of Corona, but they go to a lot of like events and such. So that would maybe be a clue for you. It's not the type of person who sits home alone and just, you know, on the couch plays video games all weekend. So they're very sociable. Yes. So that's the information I got for you. So again, I mean, this one could actually be a lot of things. So if you know a place where you go a lot and this is like your second home, and it could be a job, it could also be a school, it could also be somewhere like a spot where you hang out a lot with your friends. Either way, this is suggesting somewhere where you go a lot, okay? So let's see if we can get further information for you. If you want to know specifically if it's the person that you're thinking about, or if you want some extra information that you want confirmed with a yes or no, this is your chance. So ask your question, and if you chose this one, your answer is no. And if you chose this one, your answer is yes. Okay? Okay, Ruby people. If you chose the Ruby, let's see. what information we can get about your future spouse. Keep in mind, I don't tell you about zodiacs. I don't tell you too much about looks. I mainly want to give a little bit of clarity on where you might most likely meet this person and their occupation and stuff like that. If anything else springs, if anything else seems like it has to be mentioned, I'm going to mention it. But otherwise, this is what I'm focusing on, okay? Marriage, party, merriment. Oh, well, you're 100% going to meet this person at a social event, a party, or somewhere where there's music, there's happiness, there's a lot of people, there's, it's a really happy time, like a happy event. It might be a wedding, or it might be a house party. Either way, this is all about parties and merriment and happiness and stuff. So it's not going to be at a funeral, and it's not going to be on the beach or something like that. It's going to be, well, if the party's at a beach, it might be actually because there's water here. So I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but what I'm seeing here is like a party, like a big party, like a big event. And it's a very promising union. You're probably also going to marry this person. Not just be their life partner, probably going to be their wifey or husband. Yes, we have the stars, another indication of something really happy. And with flowers, again, another indication of parties. This is really going to be a happy time in your life where you meet them. It might be a time of a lot of change for you. This could also indicate pregnancy, by the way. So, I mean, what I'm seeing here is that you're going to meet them at a party, probably, most likely. If not party, then tweak it to maybe what would be going on in your life that would match, like, this description. And what else can I tell you from this? Well, you're just going to have your wish fulfilled. This is what I'm seeing. So it might actually talk to the fact that this is the person that you've been dreaming about. That this is, like, your biggest wish coming true. And for occupation, well, this is different because I'm seeing someone creative. It might be, this is not like a stiff occupation, like someone who works with, well, again, I try not to to judge, but sometimes I say stuff and it just comes out wrong. But it's not going to be a lawyer. It's not going to be like a someone who works at the tax office. This is a colorful occupation. So you might have to do with someone who works either with design or with, could be sales in a creative department. It could also be a florist. It could be someone who, someone who has to do with the more esoteric side of life with the stars, because that usually also can indicate, it can indicate someone who either is a healer or someone who is into yoga, spiritualism and such, or it could be someone who is into aesthetics. So it might also be in the beauty business, cosmetic business. I know if you're a girl watching for a man, the likelihood of him being someone who sells MAC is pretty small unless he's gay. But it could be something like that. So it could also be a barber, if you know anyone like that. There are a lot of very, very heterosexual barbers out there, or a hairdresser, and someone who's very aesthetic about their looks. Also slim. I see someone with a nice slim figure. Yeah, and someone who enjoys. They probably also enjoy stargazing for whatever reason. I felt the need to say that, and probably plays an instrument. So. Let's see, if you have a question about this person, if this is the person you have in mind, or if you have something else you want clarified, this is your chance to get a yes or no. So choose your card, ask your question, and pick either this or this for the yes or no. Are you ready? If you chose this one, your answer is a yes. And if you chose this one, the answer is no. Okay, thank you so much for watching. This sounds like an awesome person. Best of them all. Okay, so if you chose the calcite, guys, if you chose the calcite, let's see if we can get information about your future partner, life partner, or spouse. Keep in mind, I don't do zodiacs, and I also don't go into looks too much unless it is something that I can't avoid noticing. Let's see, information about where you might meet them, and what their occupation might be. This is interesting. So we get like 2 cards of someone being a lord or a servant. So it might go either way. It might be someone who has a very high position and has staff to help them out. Like, you know, someone who has like no one has a butler these days unless they're Sherlock Holmes. But, you know, they have staff to help them out. So someone really, really well off, or the opposite, someone who is the person who helps those who are very well off, if you know what I mean. Also, it's likely that this person comes from afar. So they're probably not, you know, where you meet them, the city that they're living in right now, is not where they're originally from. So they moved to the place where they live now from far. It could be another country. It could also just be another part of the city, like not just, you know, not close. It's somewhere, another city, like, you know what I mean? So they're not natives to your city. It's most likely actually, okay, so here I get 2 options for you. This is probably someone who also, you can meet them in school. So this could also simply be depictions of them being, tutored, like they're in school and there's someone who teaches them, you know. So because I'm seeing the person who has more power and the person who has less power. So this could also be an indication of the teacher. If you met your person at school, perhaps this could be the person that you're thinking about, because it sounds pretty plausible. A lot of people meet their spouses at school. Either way, there's school, there's books here. And it could also simply indicate that this is a secret love. So you're going to be crushing on this person a long time before something actually happens. But it will be growing very slowly, however surely. Okay, so this is something that's going to be a long process for you to get there. You're going to be waiting a long time for this person. It's going to be growing, but very slowly. So maybe that's something that means something to you. And it could also be someone you meet outside somewhere. Again, you know, with the tree, it can be anywhere outside. I'm not going to be telling you it's going to be in the rainforest. It could be a rainforest, but it could also be a park where you're sitting and reading a book, and then they walk by with the dog or something, and they just sit next to you, and all of a sudden, you know, love blossoms. But it could also be something as simple as school. Okay? So, and again, some kind of foreigner or something about them coming from afar or coming to the place where you usually see each other with a train or something. If they usually do a lot of train travel, this could also be that. If you have a question that you want to have elaborated, this is your chance. Yes or no? Do you have a question? Then ask it now and choose one of these 2 cards. Have you chosen? If you chose this one, the answer is a no. And if you chose this one, the answer is yes. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Now, last but not least, Chrysicola. Let's see if we can get some information about your future spouse or life partner. Keep in mind, I don't do zodiacs, nor do I do too much of information about like looks and hair color and eye color. You can get that from other readers, I'm pretty sure. I mostly want to look into probably where you're going to meet them and or occupations, and give you some options for that. And at the end of the reading, if you're not feeling like you're satisfied with this and you want further clarity, you get to choose a yes or no question, and I will give you 2 options to choose from. Okay, let's see about your future spouse. Well, they're most likely older than you, and they have a tad bit of money. They also have a child, and they used to be married. Married or in a very, very long-term committed partnership. But they're pretty well off, and I'm pretty sure that you're not going to be lacking in the finance department with this person. Yes, we have the fish, which, oh, right next to the clover. Beautiful. So, you know, this is actually really confirming the message I just gave you. This person is going to have incredible wealth or a lot of luck with money. So if they're not wealthy, they just tend to be the type of person that, you know, whenever they just need money, it sort of like falls onto their head from the sky, or they win a lot of money. They might also be someone who gambles with the clover, or someone who has their own small business, which they're very successful with. What I'm seeing here is actually someone who owns a small business or is going to own a small business at some point, which is usually the indication for this card if we're talking jobs. It could also be someone who works with children. I need to say that because we have the child card here, but you know what I'm mostly seeing here is someone who probably already has a child. And yeah, and I think what they might be working also with older people, so with children or older people. Maybe that makes sense to you. Or being a teacher, also, that's an option. Either way, I'm pretty sure this person comes from a past of a very long-term relationship, so that might be a big clue for you. But they work, if they don't have a small business, they work with money, you know, so they work dealing with money, you know, money going through their hands, or they could be working with some kind of endeavor having to do with the sea, like with water, okay? So they might be working at, I don't know, they might be like a saving, what's the word in English? It's, I know the Danish word, but I don't know the English word. It's someone who, do you know Baywatch? When they jump in the water and save your life. What's that called? I don't even remember it. Okay, but that could be that kind of job too, because I'm also seeing water. So I have to give you guys some options to choose from, keeping in mind that there might be more than one person watching this. But again, if not very wealthy, then very lucky with money. Okay, and you might meet them at some place having to do with that also, but you might also meet them somewhere having to do with, well, let's maybe say like a party or something like that, somewhere where there's a lot of people, not just you, wanting their attention. And well, it could also be you meet them with through your own business or through your own hobby or something like that. If you have like a hobby, then you meet them through this hobby. Okay, so if you have a question that you did not get answered, ask your question, and I'm going to give you the option of these two cards, and you can get your yes or no. Have you chosen? So if you chose this one, the answer to your question is no, and if you chose this one, the answer is yes. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was a different kind of reading for future spouse, but you know, there's so many people out there doing half-an-hour readings about your future spouse with loads of different information, and it's also vague, and it's, if you ask me, too long, because you know, you can't just give people 3 options and just think that that's going to fit them. And again, if this does not resonate with you, or you do not want it to resonate with you because you have your eyes on someone which did not fit this description, then fine, then of course just, you know, dismiss this reading. But I preferred to do it this way because I don't think it benefits anyone to get too rosy about these kinds of readings, and just, you know, just stay realistic about it. If you have any other options, or if you would like me to do something more elaborate on this topic, if you want to know something more specific, if you really, really want me to do a reading about the looks of your future spouse, I can do that too. Just, you know, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to oblige if you are one of my loyal viewers. I do love you guys. So yes, that was what I had for you today, and I hope you have a lovely day or morning or evening wherever you are. Bye now.